Hi there, my name is Mona Loy, aka Dark Shades, aka Blackbright News, and today's topic is about how embarrassed are you of black people? Now, sometimes I know we watch TV and you hear of a shooting or you hear of some other crime and you say, please God, don't let it be a black person, please. Because you see that black person as representing you. I've been in situations where you see a black person come in and somebody will look at them and say, oh, look what the hell they got on, what do they look like? Oh, you know, look how ugly he is, look at his nose, look at his hair. Or the guy will say, oh, look how black she is, look how fat she is, look at this, look at that. And really, when you're doing this, you're just criticizing yourself, because what you're doing is actually, by being embarrassed by someone else who's the same colour as you, you're actually showing embarrassment of yourself. Do you realise that? Do you realise that when you criticise someone else, you're actually criticising yourself and showing what a low self-esteem you have for that race or for even yourself? So why I'm decided to talk about this is because I was wondering where that embarrassment comes from. I mean, unless, it's all well and good when we're doing well, when we're good at football or we're good at sports, or you see a black man like Usain Bolt winning the championships, or you see Idris Elba, or you see these famous black people, and you all of a sudden you have an alliance with those black people. But God forbid you see a black boy who's got his trousers down the bottom of his arse, and you kind of shun him if he talks to you. You don't want to have anything to do with him. You don't want to be associated with him because you're embarrassed by the way he looks, his outward appearance. It doesn't matter what his soul is like or what his personality is like. You judge him by the way he looks and you're embarrassed, especially depending on what kind of company you're in. It's like, oh, you don't want to be associated with him. He's I don't know where he's going, or even if it could even be a relative. I remember going somewhere and I was with a black guy. And I remember introducing him it's quite funny now though. I was going to this well-to-do dinner and dance. Anyway, I introduced the guy I was with, and he said to the compere, "What in blood?" Now the guy had said to him, "Good evening." Why would you then respond, "What in blood?" And I felt embarrassed. I really did. And I'd been going out with that guy for years, but I thought he would be adaptable. I'd never taken him out of our comfort zone. We had just kind of gone into our little shebeen dances and all that kind of stuff. And, just more or less having a light-hearted relationship. When I took him out of that comfort zone into a different scenario, I saw a different side, and a side that I didn't feel comfortable with. And it really made me think, am I compatible with this person? Doesn't he know how to adapt? But why I'm saying that is because this is what happens all the time. We have people, and I guess that doesn't really have anything to do with race or whether or not you're black or anything. I mean, it's like going out with any race, they can say something to embarrass you. But I'm dealing at the moment with black people and wondering what it is about us that makes us embarrassed, as opposed to, I know white people, they have their husbands or their whoever, and they might be drunk, they might be fat, they might be farting, and they take them anyway. They don't give a toss. They just accept that person as they are. They might make a little complaint, but I don't think it inherently bothers them. I don't think it, I don't think they go have it overthink. They don't overthink it. I don't think so. Whereas black people, I think we take it a bit too seriously. People's appearances, how they represent us, how we are represented. When really, in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? Doesn't it just matter about how that individual treats you on a one-to-one? Yeah, what else was I going to say? Yeah, I was going to say, you know, a part of this, you know, being embarrassed by others and the message that you're sending out, especially to young people, that you don't like them because of the way they look or because you're embarrassed by the way they look. You know, I've known people have gone to a dance or they've gone to a wedding and they've invited their children and their children haven't known how to dress appropriately and they've come with their little hoodie and their whatever. And, you know, the response of the parents, kids pick that up. And what happens is when a child picks up that you're embarrassed by him just because of the way he dresses, that translates into him feeling that he's not accepted. And when he's not accepted, he assumes anybody else who looks like him isn't accepted. And I think that is where the conflict and anger comes in, because if a black boy sees another black boy and that black boy doesn't trust himself and he has a low self-esteem, he's not going to trust that other black boy who's in his circle. And that's why you find so much conflict and so much gun crime and all that kind of stuff, because everybody's afraid of each other because they're afraid of themselves and they haven't accepted themselves. Once again, we need to give our children a different history. We've got to give them one that lets them feel proud of who they are. And we must stop demoralizing them in every single Black History Month, showing them bloody slaves. No wonder they feel ashamed of their background and who they are. If every year it's reinforced, slave, 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 slave. And yet hardly ever you see on mainstream TV the kings and the queens and the royalties and the beautiful buildings and the pyramids that we built. And unless it's coming from an authentic source that they deem authentic, it's not going to carry no weight. Because are they going to listen to John Henrik Clark? Are they going to listen to Robin Thompson? Are they going to listen to Akala? No, they're not. They're going to be in their little circle. And if their little circle isn't telling them who they are, it's up to you, the parents or the brothers and the sisters, to tell them who they are and try to change that mindset. So don't be embarrassed by your people, regardless of how they look. Embrace them, you know, embrace them, set examples, show them, okay, their limitations. If they dress a certain way, it is going to limit their approaches in certain ways. It's not that you want them to conform 100%, but at the same token, sometimes you have to conform in order to get what you want. You have to be smart. You have to be wise. So it's not all about being rebellious and doing what you want to do. It's about doing what's right for you and right for your community and right for the next generation. That's all for now.